Hello, I'm Dave Peach, and this is the Crawfordsville Peachcast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. See them in person or at tricountybank.net. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Crawfordsville Peachcast. We are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. We're also sponsored by Central Indiana Rubber. And with us right now is Dave Meyer. And Dave, at this time, we always say, Hello, Todd. Be listening. Todd is going to be on the Peachcast, and we're going to go over the movie Stand By Me. It has a special place
a classic,
in Todd's heart.
A classic, Dave. Yeah, can't wait.
I can't wait to break that one down. So go over the details, see where Todd, where his feelings are on this movie, because I know, like I said, it is something that he reveres fondly.
It's a near and dear movie.
Is that a redundancy? Revere fondly? Would that, or reveres? Would that be a double? Would that be too much? Revere. I mean,
maybe a little.
Can you revere non-fondly?
I think. Maybe
reveres it. Reveres. I don't even know what revere means, so I just threw it out there.
Well, Kiefer Sutherland was a bad old teenager in that movie. Mm-hmm. That's what I remember right now.
We will have that coming up. Dave, recent history made in Crawfordsville, Indiana, at least for me.
Okay. Recent
history made for me. Did we give our sponsor mentions?
I believe, Dave. Now,
did I talk about I have this Celsius thing? It's I wish we were on. We need to be on YouTube so they could see what we drink and how we look and all that stuff.
Because the Fahrenheit water is out, right?
Yes, I've got.
We're just doing the Celsius centigrade water.
Live fit, and I have trouble opening these things because I bite my nails. But that's going to open right now. There we go.
Okay,
but
good. Now that's
Celsius.
Good. I got a good visual, Dave.
Could that be a sponsor? I mean, Celsius could sponsor our show or something like that.
They
a national level.
I mean, if nothing else, Dave, a little trade out never hurt.
Could I change my name to Celsius?
You possibly could. It would make you sound more exotic. Dave Celsius.
Dave Celsius.
Where's he from? Somewhere outside of Greece.
Well, history made. Did I say the history was made?
Okay.
History made now. Now, Dave, you are familiar, as I know you go to many convenience stores across our country, right?
It's one of my many pastimes.
Now, you go to the convenience store and you buy a bag of chips, you buy a drink, you buy a piece of pizza,
exactly.
And they always have that little plastic thing at the counter that helps you if you need a quart or need a dime, a couple of pennies or something like that.
Container there. It says take some, leave some kind of thing.
Yeah. So I am going to a convenience store here in Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Okay.
And, I can't tell you.
Will it go unnamed, Dave?
It's Slushyville here in Crawfordsville.
Okay.
If they listen, that's great. And, I'm always going through the convenience store, figuring out, what kind of snack do I want? Well, I want the 15-ounce bag of Doritos, and I'll eat it in my car, and it'll be gone before I get out of the parking lot, okay?
Absolutely.
I will cram as many Doritos in my mouth as I possibly can and enjoy it. And if it were left to me, if I didn't have to worry about weight, didn't have to worry about, the expense, well, I guess that
general health.
Yeah, I general health, correct. I'd be eating Doritos all day until
they're that good.
Until I couldn't eat anymore. So I'm always going through the convenience store saying, well, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? So the call was to get, because I wanted something. The call was to get a small bag of almonds, like roasted almonds, like smoke roast. The smoky almonds. Okay.
I'd go for that.
So I go to the almonds. I go to the counter, and I know I have $1, and I've got change in my pocket.
Okay.
Because I was ready to pay change. Okay. So I go to the counter, and he says that'll be $1.81. I pull out the $1, I give him that, And he goes, I got it.
Yeah.
So he goes to the little change thing and he pulls out 81 cents.
Wow. That's bizarre, Dave. I would have expected a lot of turns, but not pulling 80 cents out of the change counter to help your lonely dollar get over the walnut.
Almonds.
Almonds,
Yeah.
almonds,
Yeah. It was like,
yeah. Now, did you say like?
I said, no, wait a
hey,
minute. Now, are you sure you're what? And he's like, he keeps pulling the change out.
Right.
And I'm like, really? You're going to go 81 cents? He goes, no, I got this. It's fine. Yeah. 80, 78, 5, 80, 81. You're good. I go,
See,
wow.
like, part of me says like he was staring at that pile and saying, I need to get this down a little. Let's thin this out. Next person that comes in with needing 50 cents, no problem. But
Wow.
80, Dave.
81
80.
cents. I'm still, I mean, it's like that Al Michaels Monday Night Football game. He did what?
Yeah. Out of all the turns that visit could have taken, that was unexpected, Dave.
Now, let alone percentage to sale. Now, if I'm going in there buying, $28 worth of stuff, I can see. I got
Right.
28. I can see getting the 81 cents.
I'll round it up.
I'm putting $1 down.
You're a patron. You're a patron at that point.
I can see that. I'm spending, I get oil and I get, 5 chicken tenders and a coffee and, some Chex Mix and, a couple of.
You're one of their whales.
A couple of beef jerkies. I'm thinking that it's like $38. Okay, I can see getting the 81 cents on the 38, but $1.81 and I get the 81 cents out of the thing. I don't know,
Dave. It was your day.
Yeah, it was.
It was your day.
I guess it was inexplicable. I mean, I just thought all my announcer. I don't believe it. I can't believe what I just saw. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. 81 cents.
Yeah. You need almost like
ever.
That's what I almost want to say. Did the music start right then? Because it felt like the music starts and you turn and then it slow-mos and you say, wait a minute. What are you doing?
Wait a minute. I like that.
Oh,
good.
That
was
guy.
Good. Wow.
That guy's a life changer, doesn't know it.
Hey, I don't think we can do any better in segment 1. So I'm just going to do a Mary Lou Retton. I'm going to put my hands to my side and I'm just going to go perfect 10. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
We got the movie coming up, The Freshman with Matthew Broderick, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to say Matthew Modine. We did a Matthew Modine movie, Vision Quest. I think I was number 2 on the chart. This is our 25th movie, The Freshman, 1990. Do a little preview. Just a little preview. 30-second preview of what they're gonna hear after the break. We're still at Mary Lou Retton area.
We're still at the Mary Retton level.
Actually, now we're down to a 9.9. But go ahead.
9 point. The Freshman. Okay, Marlon Brando takes his most iconic role, and over 20 years later, shows up again in a version of the Godfather, who in that movie is known as, I'm throwing it out for you, Dave.
Carmine.
Well, Carmine Sabatini is what he's known in the. Are you
talking about Vito Corleone?
Vito Corleone, yes. Vito Corleone,
Mr. Corleone.
And obviously Brando had a lot of iconic roles from The Waterfront and from that was Stanley Kowalski.
The Wild One, didn't we do the Wild One?
Yeah, the Wild One, Streetcar. So I mean, he takes the most iconic role of his career and basically in a comedic farce with a young and at the time very hot Matthew Broderick. This is right in the era right after Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So Matthew Broderick, still looking young, plays a student going to NYU who, while he comes into the city, happens to run into Bruno Kirby, right? And Bruno Kirby happens to be kind of a fixer, low level, not super bright. I don't know, driver slash theft person. So anyway, through a series of things, Matthew Broderick, as a college student at NYU, trying to be a film. Oh, Dave's giving me the same. Basically, folks.
Well, we got to take a break. We haven't played the commercials yet.
We got to take a break.
You got right into it, which is fine. So
let me try one more.
Let me just try one more.
I'll even read
I'm sorry.
this.
Let's try.
We're going for Mary Lou level.
We're down to a 9.6 in segment 1, but you're okay. Go ahead, Dave.
Here's the 22nd. 1990 film The Freshman, a crime dramedy. Okay. Marlon Brando, Matthew Broderick, Bruno Kirby, Penelope Ann Miller. New York film student entanglement with an illicit business offering of exotic and endangered animals, especially food items. Being tasked, he delivers a komodo dragon. And hijinks ensues, Dave.
We'll talk about it.
Also has Burt Parks.
Burt Parks. I can't wait. I mean, when I saw Burt Parks was in this movie, I said, I cannot wait to see Burt Parks. And we will talk it up. It is The Freshman 1990, movie number 25, Untoasted, on the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you.
Crawfordsville Peachcast, it is The Freshman, and this is movie number 25, if you are keeping track, 1990. So for us, a contemporary movie.
Very contemporary. I remember when this came out, it was like, what? Brando's playing what? So I do believe I did not see this in the theater, but I did see it fairly soon after that on VHS.
Now, it's a passing of the torch type movie. Mm-hmm. Matthew Broderick plays Clark Kellogg. I guess Herb Williams was taken, or what was the deal there?
I think us Midwesterners and basketball fans immediately picked up on Clark Kellogg.
Did you immediately say, squeeze the orange, squeeze the orange? DQ for Dairy Queen, disqualified. Yeah. And then we got Marlon Brando. And I did not know that there's a lot of Godfather in this movie, including 2 clips from The Godfather 2.
Yes.
I did not know that was coming. I had not seen this movie pillar to post, but Marlon Brando is in this movie. Bruno Kirby, who was in Godfather 2, is in this movie.
He played a young Peter Clemenza.
Yes, that's right, along with Tessio, who nobody knows who played young Tessio.
No.
Do you know?
No. He just had he had the Abe Vigodas eyebrows.
That was enough. There was a little bit of context there. I think Abe might be a little taller than him, but all in all, we go to Godfather too much, and I've got a great Godfather story. Can you remember the Godfather story for segment 3 for me? Godfather 2 story. Okay, remember that.
I can. Okay.
I am notorious for promoting things on the air and then getting home and saying, you know what? You never got to that. you got playing Fifth Dimension on the air, and you never got back to what you were saying you were going to do. So, then we got Penelope Ann Miller, who's one of those actresses in the 80s and the 90s that you would have a hard time finding people that are thinking about Penelope Ann Miller at this current spot, and we still know Matthew Broderick, we still know Marlon Brando. So for whatever reason, she's not a Diane Keaton.
No, but during this time, she was in a lot of movies.
Yep.
And somebody who you would see a lot. You talk about Godfather. One of the things I picked up off when they cut to his one of his film professors, right? and there are posters on the wall of like Scorsese and Brian De Palma, and I think maybe a French director, but the guy who plays the professor, which is, I love the name, Arthur Fleber, Professor Fleber. That guy, Dave, is the exact guy that played that role in I don't know how many movies and or television shows, which is.
You're talking about Paul Benedict.
I am talking about Paul Benedict.
Now,
Dave.
Paul Benedict. Now, okay, let me get this stuff off my chest right away.
Okay.
Let me
Please.
get all the stuff that is going on in my head right now. Okay. This movie has Marlon Brando in it.
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, you think of Marlon Brando as Vito Corleone or Corleone, however the senator wants to pronounce it at that current time. So you got Vito in the movie. Then you've got Bruno Kirby, who was in Godfather 2. Okay.
Yeah.
In the movie, Paul Benedict plays clips from Godfather 2.
Right.
Which Marlon Brando was not in.
Right.
He was not in, but Bruno Kirby was in. So you've got all this Godfather stuff going on in this movie. And then you know that Godfather 2 is celebrating a 50-year anniversary this year.
Okay.
Now, wait, one more thing, and then we can get on to the movie.
Okay.
It's also the 40-year anniversary this year of our favorite, This Is Spinal Tap.
Oh.
So now you've got Bruno Kirby,
yes,
who was in Spinal Tap. These kids, it's a fad. If you've lived and loved like Frank has, anyway, we could go through the whole movie. But Bruno Kirby was the limo driver in Spinal Tap. Paul Benedict, he was the hotel worker.
Just as God made me, right?
Just as God. I don't think we could get 10 people in a king leisure bed. And then like Paul was. Anyway, and he's in so you had Spinal Tap connections, you had Godfather connections, you had Godfather 2 actually in the movie. So you had a lot of, and you had Clark Kellogg as the as the lead as far as the Matthew Broderick character. So there's a whole lot of things. And then you got Burt Parks thrown in there. There's a whole lot of things swimming in my head when I'm watching this movie.
Yeah, no, and I tell you what, like, I don't know if it's like a thing growing up as a kid and reading about dinosaurs, but the Komodo dragon to me, looks it's dinosaur-like. So there's a creepy aspect to that, as that being kind of the centerpiece of the story, which we will get into, I guess. But there's a lot of moving parts to this, and it's fun. It's kind of a romp. It's not a serious, it's the minute you see Brando, because one of the things that immediately, obviously everybody, the audience, it's like, oh my God. And then Bruno Kirby says, yeah, they based the movie on him. And then Matthew Broderick starts to say, oh my God, you look just like, and then they cut him off. Right. So it's this kind of running joke that they address immediately, so that the audience is in on the fact that they're in on it, So it just kind of goes from there.
And Matthew Broderick is kind of known for breaking through that, what do they call that? The breaking through the wall or whatever in that Ferris Bueller's days.
Looking at the camera.
One day off, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, looking in the camera, kind of talking to the audience, winking at the audience. So as far as league leader in winking at the audience, Matthew Broderick is among the top.
It plays into it. It does. It does. And he's got like a partner, Frank Whaley, who we've seen in a lot of character actor parts over the years. One of the things that in reading some of the background about this, I guess they had many komodo dragons, and that some of them were older and a little more docile. And then they had like when the Komodo dragon is getting away in the mall parking lot, they have the young virile dragons doing that. So at one point, I guess, first of all of them smelled bad. So if you are handling this dragon at any point, you are smelling that. So that was a very real part of it. And there's a scene in the movie when they're saying, "Oh my God, roll down the window." Like, what just happened? But I guess that was the real case. And then at some point, um, I guess they were telling the actors, "Don't worry, they won't bite." And then apparently, it did take a chunk out of somebody's thumb, not an actor, supposedly a handler.
Oh my.
So, because I guess the whole deal was they were in Toronto shooting, and these animals like to be in cool, dark, wet places, and you're putting it in a hot car.
Yeah.
And trying to put a seatbelt on it, no less. So
Well, I don't know if anybody has not seen this movie. Let's bring him in. As you mentioned, Clark goes to college at NYU, and immediately he meets Victor Ray, who's played by Bruno Kirby. Bruno rips him off, and
yeah, I mean, he starts under the guise of offering him a ride.
yeah,
Okay,
he rips him off.
If you ever showed up in New York at the train station or airport, there are folks still to this day that will provide transportation.
And so then we'll try to cut through, and then so Bruno Kirby completely rips him off, and then Matthew Broderick goes to school at NYU, and he's talking to Professor, and I the name, Paul Benedict,
Arthur Fleeber,
Dr.
Fleeber,
and he sees Bruno Kirby walking by or running by, so he runs after Bruno Kirby. So now we've got Matthew Broderick and Bruno Kirby connected again, and eventually Bruno says, "Hey, why don't you meet my uncle?" Played by Marlon Brando. And at that point, Matthew Broderick is set up in what we'll call the underworld.
The underworld. He goes to the social club in Little Italy, right, in Manhattan, where he sits with Carmine Sabatini, and basically Carmine offers him driving. Go basically pick up errands for me, pick up things for the airport. I'll pay you $500 to do these trips. So immediately Matthew Broderick says, like, wait a minute, that's a lot of money. And Brando's like, you're a smart boy. So basically kind of charms him, says, okay. He does this whole thing where he holds his hands and he says, we're going to do this in friendship. And so Matthew Broderick, basically is told to go to his house, right? So goes to the house to get the information and meets Carmine Sabatini's daughter, Penelope M. Miller, who is Tina Sabatini. Immediately when he's in the front room, he sees what looks like a copy of the Mona Lisa over the fireplace, right? And says, "Wow, that looks really good." And she basically then explains, "Yeah, that's the real thing. That basically, when the Mona Lisa came to the United States, my father thought it was sad that it was behind all that glass. So we replaced it, and that's the real thing, so everybody can see it." So that's where you're like, "Oh, okay. So that's the Mona Lisa."
That's kind of the first curveball of this movie, of which there are many.
Yes. And then basically when he goes to pick up the dragon, as we talked about, some hijinks, they do get the dragon, they get it in the vehicle, but then in the process of, transporting it, they're going to clean out some of the smell. The dragon escapes, right? And that's when we end up in the mall parking lot and in the mall. In fact, at one point we have the Komodo dragon, I believe, walking on a treadmill.
It became very much like an episode of Scooby-Doo at that point, as they chase the Komodo dragon around.
That's perfect, Dave. It was a Scooby-Doo. Okay, so they do eventually get the Komodo dragon and basically transport it at that point, right? And then from there, as the process goes on, he finds out that he's approached while in school while he's talking to his professor. He's telling his professor this story. Two guys from, quote, the Department of Fish and Wildlife Justice come and take him to basically interrogate him, right? And in the process, they tell him that Carmine is, this illegal importer, or I forget exactly how they frame it up, but basically they say that, that these animals are going to be eaten. Okay. That's the big thing that freaks him out a little bit. And so he, agrees to help them to make sure these animals are not eaten.
And they're endangered species. And this restaurant is set up probably in a different location each time, and the patrons pay $500,000 a plate, $1 million a plate, whatever it is, and they gather and they have music and they eat endangered species.
Called the Gourmet Club.
The Gourmet Club.
And it's exotic animals. And, that's where we have this great scene of Burt Parks singing a version of There She Is. Instead of Miss America, he's revealing the Komodo dragon. So he's There She Is. Dave, give me a Burt Parks.
Your Komodo dragon.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good.
It's like it's such a special treat. It's like it's like an onion petal on your barbecue sandwich to have Burt Parks. I mean, and to think about Burt Parks and Miss America and all that, it warms your heart.
Well, he's playing it up, right? He's making fun of himself, and he's funny, and he's got that voice. And the first time you see him on camera, he's got a big old kind of the El Jefe sombrero, and he's got a couple of maracas, and he's singing tequila.
Yeah, he's rocking
and
it. And those people are dancing to Burt Parks, which I don't know if that would happen today, but it would.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's and at that point, the movie. It takes a lot of different turns, and it's reminiscent at the end, very reminiscent of a movie that was a real good one, and that was The Sting with Redford and Newman, where you don't know who's tricking who,
at all.
It's like the authorities, who you don't even know if they're the authorities, are taking somebody away. People are getting shot. The Komodo dragon is not going to get carved up for dinner. I mean, you do know that. I mean, that's pretty much a given. The Mr. London guy was kind of cool, and it was, and all the while
Maximilian Schell as he is the special chef, special preparer, right?
Yeah, getting ready to carve up that. You knew the Komodo dragon was not going to get carved up,
because this was about for the privilege of eating the very last of a species is how they sold it.
That's something I can't really say. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. It goes a lot of directions, and then at some point, like Matthew Broderick steps out to signal
Clark Kellogg.
Yes, Clark Kellogg. He's signaling the bad Fish and Wildlife guys, who are corrupt, but he's kind of compromised. So, and then during that, there's this situation, all this stuff happens, and Carmine pulls a gun, and they wrestle, and it looks like Carmine.
Well, no, wait. Somebody might watch this movie, so just kind of, we'll let you. There's a lot of twists and turns at the end of this movie.
Let's talk about some of those, Dave. What's your favorite of the twisters?
I can't figure it out, but I guess, spoiler alert. If you're going to watch the movie, turn it down for 30 seconds here on the podcast. But, I got to say, bringing Carmine back to life after getting shot, which I kind of knew was going to happen. I snipped that one out. But we didn't go over that in rehearsal, though, did we? I mean, as far as the movie goes, that's something that was supposed to take us a little bit by surprise. We were supposed to figure that out on our own, right?
I believe so. I do.
They didn't telegraph that, yeah.
They didn't telegraph it, but in the context of kind of the way things were being revealed, right? You kind of, I mean, it was there was a lot going on that wasn't talked about. So I kind of, I don't know. As you say, you kind of saw it coming. It kind of made sense because it's like he was, just like in The Godfather, basically the image of the puppet master, right? And that's kind of at the end what you get with Carmine is this guy. He had it all going all along, right? And that Clark was specifically picked, and his daughter wasn't madly in love with him or any of that stuff. It was all what it was.
All for the show. Now, I enjoyed this movie, and I might watch the end again to try to figure it out, and then again, I might not even worry about it because it ended like it ended, and I think at its core, at least as we look back at a 1990 movie here in 2024, it's incredible. We're in 2024 looking back at this movie in 1990, but you've got Matthew Broderick with Marlon Brando, with Bruno Kirby, with Penelope Ann Miller, with Burt Parks, with Paul Benedict. You've got all these people together. We talk about passing the torch.
Yeah.
That's what I see of this movie. Enjoy it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
And watch Brando and Broderick go at it. And they're in a lot of the scenes one-on-one.
Yeah. No, and there's a great scene that is in his dorm room, right? Where Brando basically says, this is college. I didn't miss much. and it's so good because there's something about it. Like it doesn't add a whole lot to the movie, but Brando in his dorm room, that's the scene, right? Just that. Now they have this dialogue. I would say if you're a fan of The Godfather, if you were a fan of, Matthew Broderick movies,
War Games, Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
War Games and Ferris Bueller. Ferris
Biloxi
Bueller and
Blues.
War Games. Yeah, Biloxi. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
There were some. So, if go in with that attitude. And I tell you
why do I remember that one thing for Biloxi Blues? Back to you, Dave. And I'm not even going to go into it.
I know. It's Christopher Walken, and we love it. Hey, I won't. I will not.
In other news,
if you if nothing else, Burt Parks, right? If Burt Parks singing "There She Is," it's worth it. So, I would say if you've heard of but never watched, it's worth it. Dave, should we divulge that there are small amounts in the YouTube free version where the audio does drop out?
Yeah, I didn't quite get that, but at one point this was a freebie on YouTube, and then in our lack of getting to it, in our lack of getting to it on time, we ended up getting another version,
right? Yes,
which allowed us to watch it. I don't know how that works. We won't even talk. Let's not talk about how YouTube works and all that stuff. But it was a good movie. Pay the $2.99 and watch it on YouTube.
It's worth it. Yeah. And folks, of course, some of the funny things too is that you do find out. Of course, as Dave said, they don't eat the dragon. But Larry does reveal that the expensive and exotic dinner is actually Hawaiian tigerfish mixed with smoked turkey from Virginia.
Nobody knows.
They're thinking they're eating the komodo. They're thinking they're eating the last of the species dinner, and they're just having some tiger fish with a little smoked turkey.
You order that from the deli at Kroger.
And of course, Dave, the endangered animals will in fact be housed in the new Carmine Sabatini Endangered Species Wing at the Bronx Zoo.
We'll look for the Freshman 2 coming out anytime soon with Matthew Broderick maybe handing the mantle off to another, maybe a younger actor. We'll be looking for that. Coming up, my incredible movie-going experience. That's next in segment 3 of the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Are you looking for great prices? Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. This is Bria French. With Tri-County Bank's Merchant Discount Network, you can get discounts on food, entertainment, tools, and so much more. All you need is a smartphone and your TCB Smart Rewards checking account. Cost savings are only a click away. Terms and conditions may apply. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Segment 3, Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. Folks, you have made it to segment 3. Dave Peach and Dave Meyer, we welcome you to what is always a magic time. I look forward to segment 3.
It's the hardcore, Dave. We've arrived. We're here.
Real quick, maybe it seemed like a good idea, Dave. I'll let you weigh in on this. Wendy's charging more for food at peak times. I think they rescinded that.
That was probably, I mean, from a PR standpoint, Dave, even if you're going to do that, I think making a big announcement about doing that maybe isn't the way to go. I think you just try to slide that in on the weekends at 2 a.m.
Where was that with this little crew that does their little ads? You know, they got the female, the man.
Exactly.
Why don't they do that there? Hey, we're getting into the bag boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we charge more for you? I mean, you know, let them greet it with a comedic touch. I mean, you know. But you do all this goodwill as, you know, you got all these people running around and, it's 2 for $3, it's 3 for $4, whatever. And all this tongue-in-cheek sales thing. And then all of a sudden some person gets out there and says, oh, by the way, if you order food from 11 to 1, we're going to charge you more.
Yeah, we're going to hit you a little more. I know you're going to be sitting in the drive-thru maybe 5, 10, 15 more minutes than you'd like. Well, we're going to make sure that experience is covered.
So is it gone? Covered. Is it done? Is it finite?
We will have to, as a part of our service to the Peachcast audience, do some actual fact checking. But you know,
it did exist. The story is.
It did. No, it was. It was a real. I think we all read it.
Okay, yeah.
And we all thought, you know, like what motivate? Like, what were sales up? Were people feeling a little, you know, large? But I think to say in this day and age, look, for our fast food at certain times, we're going to hit you for more, and you're going to be okay with it. That just doesn't seem wise.
No, it seemed like I don't know. I don't. Some things are just better left thought of and not actually. I think they kind of stepped in it there.
And maybe, you know, that was the whole, you know, look, we'll say this, we'll have to recount it, but we're going to get a lot of press out of it, and therefore, you know, that's of value. But I don't see that. But, you know, hopefully if you're a big Wendy's fan, you will choose to go in the less busy times, I guess.
Okay, second thing, but before we get to my movie thing, I want to get my Stevies right. And I know I know that, you know, I just want to make sure I get my Stevies right. And I know some of these Stevies are not here anymore, but I do want to get them right because there's Stevie Ray Vaughan. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. There's Stevie Van Sant.
Yes. Stevie Ray Vaughan, not with us anymore. Van Sant, still with us.
Okay. And then there's Little Stevie. Am I correct there?
Little Steven was also a nickname of Steve Van Sant. He also was known at one time as Miami Steve.
Okay, who's the guy in the E Street Band?
That is Steven Van Sant.
Okay.
Who also known as Little Steven and or Miami Steve.
Ah. Okay. So now, see, I thought there were 3 Stevies, and in reality, there's only 2.
This is correct.
I mean, there's other Stevies out there, but in this world, there's
in this realm, and he always, you know, he must have lost the hair early because he pretty much, you know, Steven Van Sant because he always has basically some coverage over his head with a scarf of some sort. If you watch The Sopranos, he was Silvio and wore a very large pompadour hairpiece.
I know, and I'm excited to know. Now, David, it's the 50-year anniversary of Godfather 2. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when Godfather celebrated its 50th anniversary, I went to a movie theater and watched the movie. Yeah, and it was great fun. No commercials, uncut.
Yeah.
It was great. I loved it. And so I thought, well, I'll do it again. And so I picked out a time to watch Godfather 2. I should say, I thought I'd do it again for Godfather 2's 50th anniversary.
Good.
So I go to the movie theater and I say, I'd like to see him. So I go to the movie theater. How many people do you think were at the showing of Godfather 2 that I was at in Avon, Indiana? I'll let you guess.
Okay. Well, for some reason, I believe that your Godfather, when you went and saw that was probably well attended.
I'd say maybe 25, 30 people.
Okay. So
it was a Sunday afternoon, too.
Okay.
So this was, I'm not going to tell you what day.
I would think it would be packed, but I'm sensing that it was less than 10 people.
It was. There was one person there, including me.
Wow.
I had the whole, I don't know if
Did you look over and say, "My name's Dave"?
I don't think I've ever had that experience where I'm the only person in the movie theater.
Okay. That's, I have been in, sometimes in traveling for work, I have gone to movies at odd hours, and I have been in there I saw one of the Marvel doctor movies in Spokane with 3 people, and I felt like I should introduce myself to them.
Yeah. I don't, and I think kind of going back to the 81 cent thing earlier, I mean, that happened within a week. To go to a movie and be the only person, you got to really kind of, I guess, be lucky or just, I don't know. What does that say about me? I'm thinking I'm the only person here. So I guess there's not, I mean, I should say, I'm going to keep on doing what I do, even though I'm the only person in the movie theater. Hopefully people will join me eventually, but it was definitely a snicker moment.
Well, you were more earnestly a fan than the masses, or it wasn't publicized accordingly to
could be
everyone. But I do remember the Godfather showings were a little more publicized.
Yeah, I think Godfather 2 maybe, but it's worth it. I love seeing it uncut, seeing the whole thing, and it was fantastic. And today in our movie, The Freshman, they showed clips from Godfather 2. There we go.
Which, and I mean, among the Godfather fans, right? It's pretty much split as to which is the best movie and why. They're both that good.
They are. I'll have to think about that. I'll think about that. And one more, Dave, this is something to ponder. And this is it's about a 4-page, it's probably about a 5-minute read. You see that now, don't you? They tell you how long it's going to take to read something. It's a 3-minute read. Okay. But this one, I'll leave the folks with this one. This is from Politico. Now, we don't get into politics here, right?
Right.
But I will read just the headline and the second line of this article, and we'll leave it at this.
Okay.
Politico. Nobody knows which political ads work and why. A study of more than 600 political ads found there's no way to predict what makes one effective.
Wow. A lot of money is spent on guessing.
They just think about that, folks. When you're driving, no one knows.
Definitive messages.
No way to predict which makes one effective.
Well, the coin can be flipped.
That is some deep stuff. And then,
well, but that's it from the business standpoint, Dave. I guess thank God, right?
Nobody knows.
If everybody had it all figured out, I'm sure less people.
Nobody's a lot of people that don't know.
Yes, that's a significant.
You would think maybe there's one person. We went somewhere and one person. Nobody
Nobody.
Nobody. Read it. Nobody knows if they work. I'm sorry.
Folks,
nobody knows which
speaks.
political ads work and why. There's no way to predict what makes one effective. Think about that.
But we're not going to stop trying, Dave.
No, we're going to keep
We're
going.
not going to stop
We're going to
trying.
keep going. We're going to keep going, even though there's
God love.
Yeah. I mean, there's one person that went to the Godfather II showing in Avon, Indiana at 1240, right?
Yeah.
One person.
They know.
At least one person. They know. I mean, we know that, but nobody knows which political ads work and why. And with that, we come to the end of the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. I like this one. I like this one.
A good segment, Dave.
This is, I tell you what, if you send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box 603, the first person to send a self-addressed stamped envelope to our radio station, CVL, you can just make it to Dave Peach. First person to send a self-addressed stamped envelope to me at P.O. Box 603, Crawfordsville, Indiana, 47933. I'm going to send you 81 cents in the mail. First person, self-addressed stamped envelope. Actually, don't even put a stamp on it. Just give me your address. I'll send it to you. First person.
Deal.
When I go to the mailbox.
Such a deal.
Dave, we've had fun. We'll talk to you next time on the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. We are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892, and Central Indiana Rubber. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello.
Todd.
Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Tune in Thursday for a new episode on Apple or Spotify, and please like, subscribe, and download the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. This podcast was produced and edited by Up Their Media and is a presentation of Fork Broadcasting Digital. I'm Dave Peach, inviting you to join me next week.